Hello guys, how are you all doing? This is still our VIX 75. I'm sure you've been following up on the setups that I've been posting on this one, and you still remember. You mustn't lose the main setup, because remember, we're just breaking this. It was broken by that, and we went up and tested that level that gave us the breakout of the trend line, right? And we said, as much as the odds are pointing to the downside, but it doesn't change the fact that this is a area of support, this one. So that's why yesterday I took a buy. But there's another thing that happened. If you check the picture that I put on that video, there's I don't know, it's called the thumbnail of that video. You'll find that it was taken on H4, which is something that I always encourage you to do. As much as we can say that, we could say that we when we took that trade here, it was more like we are trading the daily support, right? We're taking from daily support, and the next opposing daily structure is this daily resistance, right? As much as you can say I'm buying from this, the next one is going to be that, which is going to be your TP, right? But you need to remember that your time frame combinations that I used there, it was weekly, daily, 4, right? It was this. That's why I could buy from a daily. I could buy a daily support using an H4 zone inside it. I knew I was trading the daily zone, but because the daily zone was too big, I looked for a smaller H4 zone inside it, because remember, H4 is also part of my my time frame combination. So all of these, they were inside this. So we have a big weekly area of support. When you zoom down to each daily, you find that the daily is this part only. It's just it makes the daily zone. And then when you zoom down to H4, you find that inside this daily, you find that the H4 is just this one here. But at the end of the day, all of them, they are inside the weekly. But if I want a smaller entry, if you want to sort of take a buy where the stop loss will be small, unlike someone who's trading the entire weekly zone, or the person that's trading the weekly zone, their stop loss is going to be too wide, so you can always drill it down. That's what I did yesterday when I drilled it down to H4 to take this daily support, right? And I could find an entry. But if you check that picture, the one that I'm talking about, the one that is on that video, you will find that I put this. And remember, I said, as much as we can say the price is moving from there, it's going blah blah, but it doesn't change the fact that on the time frame that you executed, you can still find areas of resistance. And remember, or the force, or like you can still find opposing structures pushing the price in the opposite direction, of which here we did. Remember, when you took this, this is the zone that we took, and I said the next opposing daily is there. But remember, I bought from H4, and H4 is telling me that I've got resistance here. We have hit resistance. And remember, the key point that I always tell you is that we don't predict breakouts. We don't predict that this is gonna break out just because we are coming from daily. Then it means, because remember, we're buying from daily, right? Just because I'm coming from this doesn't mean this is gonna. Yes, we know that when we're trading, we're saying we're always leaning towards the higher time frame, but it doesn't mean we should just neglect that smaller time frame. I can use this smaller time frame. I always tell you this. I can use this smaller time frame to exit out of my existing trades, so that I wait for the price to decide. If the price breaks this level, then I can mark this new one here, and then if it wants to rest, I'll take another buy. And now it can push me to that daily, because of what this H4 trend line wouldn't exist anymore. So it means the next resistance would be up there, which is something that I did yesterday. As much as I could say I bought from there, but this is still resistance. So that's why I had to exit there and wait and see what the price is going to do. And rather, look what it did. It went all the way down and did what? And broke this. The trend line still managed to push the price further down, and now we are getting worried. Why? Because remember, as much as we can say we are buying from weekly, going weekly, weekly, but keep in mind this one here, which is the weekly support. It was tested how many times before? It was tested how many times? Let's just check. I think 4 times, if I'm not mistaken. This one here. This was the first touch. This was meant to be the second. Okay, this missed. And then this is the third touch. It went up. Now it's coming for the third touch. Fourth. So remember, the more a zone is tested or a trend line is tested, the weaker it gets and the higher the chances of it being broken. So that's why I'm mentioning it now, because of what? As much as we can say we are moving between this and that, this and that, this and that, this and that, but this one now is worrisome. It's something that even when I want to look for trades from this zone, I'm no longer feeling safe, because it has been tested many times before. That one there, it has only been tested once, the one at the top. So this one has a higher chances of holding and breaking this one, because this one has been tested many times before, and the more it gets tested, the weaker it gets. But it's fine. And again, this one here, as much as we can say it has been tested once, another point that gives it more strength is what? It has given, it has accomplished something. What did it do? We mentioned this. It managed to, it broke bullish trend line. So because it broke bullish trend line, it means it is very strong. And it also, the same move that broke the trend line, it violated the areas of support there, which means this is very strong. And we went up and tested it. Now we are coming down. We're still here, good people. Man, we tested it too many times. I'm no longer feeling safe to take a buy from that, because you can check even daily what's happening on daily. Remember, the old trend line used to be somewhere there, and this is the zone that we had said we are taking, and we can see that it formed sort of a rejection bar, and then it did go above the rejection, but it's just that we don't trade full daily zones, so you can't trade, you can't place a buy stop above a daily pin bar. Your stop loss is going to be too big. So here what we can take from this is that we did form like a sort of a rejection bar. We did go above the range, but now the problem is that we now came back and went below, which means you can see the odds have changed now, and this one, it might be broken, and the next one is just here. But so far, or currently, I feel like the force to the downside is just too much, and our weekly zone is also not giving us too much support for us to buy from. So I think for us to buy right now, for us to say we are buying, I would rather wait, depending on which time frame you're trading. So if H4 is the time frame that you're trading from, when the price is just around this support here, you can't go and buy. Rather wait for it to violate this H4 structure, so that you can buy freely and hope that it will push up, because this thing has a high chance of just and violating these guys here, because of what we are seeing on weekly, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't get trading opportunities, especially if you are trading smaller time frames like M15, because remember, if you are trading M15, just one candlestick on H4, even a small candlestick like this, small candlestick like that, it's enough for those who are trading M15 to make their profit, to say they have hit their target, because they don't have to because remember, when you're trading M15, you're probably targeting Buma. Let's check how big that move was. But I know that if you had sold this one bar, you see it's over 200, which is a lot. So if you're trading M15, that's more than enough for you to make your money, and then you're done. Those ones who are trading higher time frames, they're still waiting for the structure on higher time frames to be clear, where now on your smaller time frames, you'll be getting entries left, right, and center. But remember, you are trading smaller time frames, you're getting more entries than those ones who are trading higher time frames, and the more entries you're getting, the higher the chances of you winning a lot of trades, and also the higher the chances of you losing a lot of trades, taking a lot of losses, because your executions are way more than those ones who are trading higher time frames, which is normal. So that's something that you need to understand. And let's see if you're trading M50, if you can get an entry. We are there, and we do have this, which is not nice. You can see it's just the type of a bar. We want a nice bar, something like this, something that has like a nice body, something like this, not like a, this is just not good. But yeah, this is an entry. But now it did go up and it didn't touch it. But remember, when you're trading this, your target must be somewhere here. You're not targeting a lot. This is more than double. You are done. And this on H4, this move that you managed to get your TP on H4, it's a very small move. Those ones who are trading Buma H4, they didn't get anything. Why not? Because you are just those guys quick in and out, then you would have gotten your entry. So that's why it is important for you to stick to pick your time frames and stick to them. So now the lowest that I go to most of the time get H1, but most of the time I'll be trading structures on H4. And yeah, but if you're trading smaller time frames, you'll be getting more entries and more losses or more wins. It could go either way, but at the end of the day, your time frame, the structure on your time frame will tell you what to do. For instance, I can be trading H1, you can be trading daily. If I'm trading H1, you find that my H1 is telling me, or what, we are bearish. The structure on H1 is saying is bearish, and then when a structure on your daily is saying what, bullish. That's very much possible, because remember this bearish move that I'm having on H1, it can be a nice move like this, but on daily it's just maybe two bearish candlesticks. But remember, we have to look at the overall structure on daily for us to conclude on the trend line, and you'll find that this is just a pullback on daily. Those ones who are trading daily during this pullback, they are not doing anything. They are waiting at the support so that they can buy. So now during my downtrend on a smaller time frame, I'm selling. When we hit this, it's a higher time frame. I can't keep on selling and fighting against it. I take my TP, I'm done. So that's how it rolls. Depending on your time frames, the structure won't be the same, and the trend won't be the same, and the areas where we execute won't be the same. But just because I'm trading H1 in the same bearish, it doesn't mean I should neglect the structure that's on daily, which is, if this is the support and my movement gets into that support, I'm done. I'm giving them a chance to trade. And then now if this movement into that higher time frame support, it goes like this and breaks my trend line, I can join them. So that's why I'm saying, if you're trading smaller time frames, you'll be getting more and more entries than those ones who are trading bigger time frames. But remember, the more entries you are taking, the higher the risk of you losing a lot of trades. And again, you've got a chance of making more money because you'll be executing a lot. So it can go either way. So I hope it makes sense on what is currently happening on VIX and what we are waiting for and what we are looking for, depending on the time frame that we are trading. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. So the next video, I'll just make sure that I make it about Nasdaq. I haven't touched that one in a while with you guys. Alright, sharp. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also refer your friends this side if they are interested in learning how to trade. Alright.